What's up, YouTube? It's your boy DR2727. Shout out to my Transformers collectors, 1/12 scale collector, whatever you collect, shout out to you. And this month's video for August 2023 is a case study. We're going to look at some figures that had innovative transformations and see how did it affect the overall figure. And this is part 2 of the Power Glide conversation we had. If you don't know, I did the 3 things for Fans Toys Power Glide, and we talked about kind of how that innovation kind of led to a different experience than it would have been if it was just engineered the normal way. So we're going to look at a couple of more figures and we're going to give our thoughts on those. We're going to say why it was innovative, the cons of the innovation, and overall was it a success. Our first figure is DX9 Carry, their version of Rodimus Prime. And why was it innovative? Because it was definitely the first third-party figure. I'm not sure if Takara or Magnus was before it, but it definitely was the first third-party figure that had a perfect transformation for a truck bot. And what I mean by perfect transformation is basically you don't have to take off anything. You can transform it without any parts forming. And normally with truck bots, you have to remove the back section to transform it. But with this one, it all was one part of it. So that's why it was innovative. What were the downfalls of it? The downfalls of that innovation was that you got a super small out mode. It didn't really scale with anything else. Was it a success? Yeah, I think besides the out mode being out of scale, which, I don't know how many people display their figures in out mode. The figure is fantastic. It's a home run figure. So this is definitely a success in our book. Our next figure is Fans Toys Rig, their version of Huffer. And why was it innovative? Because if you look at the alt mode, they basically did something that you've never seen before. They basically took the feet and made it the front part of the truck, and took the head and made it the back part of the truck. If you've seen Bad Qs, if you've seen X-transbots, the G1, anybody who's done a Huffer, basically they took the head in the front part with the cab and the feet become the back part. But Fans Toys did something completely different and reversed it. And the most interesting thing is that there are no trade-offs. The alt mode scales, the bot mode scales, the articulation is the same, the transformation is the same because of it. Like nothing comes up short because of it. And yes, this is definitely a successful figure to us. That engineering and innovation only enhanced it, didn't detract from it. Next up is MMC's Bruticus. And why is it innovative? Because MMC has this all-in-one gimmick for their combiners where the combiners don't parts form at all. And I'm pretty sure that they are the first to do this. And while the limb bots are fine, no real problem with them, the trade-off has been with their onslaught. The biggest problem is that onslaught is too big to display him in the team in bot mode. The combiner is too small to display in combine mode because Zeta has set the precedence that everybody wants this Zeta scale. And that's why if you're a faithful viewer of this channel or you've seen my 2MP or not 2MP, I got to say that this thing isn't a success. The individual bots are okay, but I can't display it in combine mode, which is the reason I bought it, because it's too small. I can't display them in bot mode because Onslaught makes them look like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And so I really had no use for it. So to me, it's not a success. It's actually a failure, even though it was a great concept and great thoughts. I'd be interested to see how this goes with the Devastator, but for just a 5-bot team, I don't think it's a success. Fans Toys Road King, their Motor Master, is up next. And if you're a long-time viewer of this channel, you know I rated this figure my best Transformer of 2019. It's the greatest MP of all time, so spoiler alert. But why was it innovative? Because again, the whole perfect transformation, right? Like we never seen the Motor Master transform without, parts forming, and it did it. Were there any trade-offs? Basically just the transformation. Was it success? Absolutely. I mean, the alt mode remained the same size. The bot mode remained the same size. We don't know about combine mode yet, but nothing about the figure is detracted because they did the perfect transformation. Nobody talks about this when they talk about Studio Cell, but this has to be one of the most innovative transformers that we've seen. Basically, the front and the back are mirror each other. It has no kibble. It transforms into a perfect sphere. And I don't know if we've ever seen a transformer transform into a perfect sphere before, but it does it basically by mirroring parts, meaning basically the same is on the front is on the back, and the same is on the right side of the body is the same as the left side of the body. So it has to be innovative for that reason. Nothing else, it transforms into a perfect sphere or circle, or relatively perfect sphere or circle. But yeah, that's why it's innovative. Only drawbacks of, trade-off is the transformation is more complex. But once you get one side, you get another. And I think that's more so to have a clean front and back than it is for the sphere part of it. But some others for the sphere part of it too. What suffers? Does the bot suffer at all? Nope. It's for the articulation is in place. Like I said, aside of the transformation nightmares, the figure doesn't suffer at all. So this is definitely a success. We've seen parts forming on a combiner before, so that's not a big deal. But we've never seen where the parts forming parts turn into robots and have alt modes, and that added a level of complexity to Kang towards Thunder King, and that's why it's innovative because they took the parts forming components and made them all individual figures with articulation alt modes. Basically, everything is its own transformer, and I don't think we've ever seen that before. Were there any trade-offs? Not really, just the extra transformation time it took to transform the parts from forming parts from action figures to the actual parts forming pieces, and it definitely was a success because that's the most stable combiner I have, and no modes for any other pieces, parts forming or non-parts forming suffer. Our final figure is Fans Toys Warthog, and we all know why it's innovative. They took a mini bot and basically made the alt mode a very long size plane. It's almost the size of an MP Seeker plane when the actual bot mode is probably a third of the size of an MP Seeker. So that's why it's innovative. What are the trade-offs for it? I think we all know. If you've seen any reviewer recently, if you saw my 3 things about it, basically the trade-off is the transformation. It's a bunch of trade-offs. The transformation, the fiddle factor with it, because a lot of the fiddle factor, especially in the knees and the ankles, is tied to the transformation of it to make it is the to make the alt mode is long and more, and the gimmick of making the alt mode long. They sold their soul to make a great alt mode, and I think this is the first time they prioritized the alt mode over any other mode. And I think that leads to the question: is this a success? And I'm going to land on yes, it's a success. And just because it's a success doesn't mean it's the best Power Glide out there. I still think DX9 is a little better, but I think that Fans Toys hit the goal they hit what they aim for. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you like innovative transformations when they push the boundaries? Can you think of any more innovative transformations that push the boundaries? It could be in any scale, not just MP. Let me know your thoughts. As always, thank you guys for watching.